Hello, my friend, and welcome to Wisdom Trek. This is Guthrie Chamberlain, and I am your guide to wisdom and creating a living legacy. Thank you for joining us for our 3-day per week, 12 Minutes of Wisdom podcast. This is day 373 of our trek, and today is Wisdom Wednesday. Every Wednesday on our trek, we will dig for the nuggets of wisdom found in the book of Proverbs. Today, we will explore the first part of chapter 12. We are broadcasting from our studios at the Big House in Marietta, Ohio. As I continue to work in and around the Big House on our renovations, Paula headed south to Charlotte for a few days to collect the mail, meet with her quilting group, and to take her mom to a doctor's appointment. She should head back to Marietta on Friday if all goes according to plan. I have finished sanding in the upstairs and downstairs hallway and both flights of stairs. I'm working on cleaning up the dust and getting ready to start applying the polyurethane on the woodwork and floors. We continue on our trek of life one day at a time. As we head up Wisdom's Trail today, let us start digging for those nuggets of wisdom that, if applied to your life, will make you truly healthy, wealthy, and wise. We will explore Proverbs chapter 12, verses 1 through 16 today, and the title for this trek is, Don't Be Stupid. One thing I really like about the wisdom nuggets in Proverbs is the compare and contrast elements of most verses. Solomon doesn't mince words in most of the passages, so it's easy to understand and apply to our lives. So let's get started with verse 1. To learn, you must love discipline. It is stupid to hate correction. One area that I don't think is taught well at home or at school is that if you desire to learn, it is required that we integrate discipline into our daily lives. In fact, we should love that discipline. Most of us would not describe discipline as something that we would love, but just as love for another person is a choice, we must choose to love discipline if we desire to learn. If instead we hate discipline and correction, then we will be considered stupid. There is a little difference between someone who cannot learn and someone who will not learn. Verse number 2. The Lord approves those who are good, but he condemns those who plan wickedness. We do like the approval of others. That is part of our basic human nature. But it is even more crucial that we are approved by God. If we live according to his word and precepts, then we will have that approval. In contrast, those who habitually plan wicked deeds will not have the same approval from God. Verse number 3. Wickedness never brings stability, but the godly have deep roots. A life that is lived contrary to God's word will be shallow and have no substance to it. This is a foolish person who builds their house on the sand. A life that is grounded on God's word, on the other hand, will have deep roots and a solid foundation, just like the person who builds his house on a solid rock. Verse number 4. A worthy wife is a crown for her husband, but a disgraceful wife is like cancer in his bones. Speaking from my own experience of having a worthy wife, I can certainly agree with this proverb. Paula is a shining crown in my life. On the other hand, I have seen marriages where a nagging and complaining wife eats at the very core of her husband. Of course, an unloving husband will also be cancer to his wife. Verse number 5. The plans of the godly are just. The advice of the wicked is treacherous. When you are able to obtain counsel from those who have high moral integrity, you will know that their advice and plans will be fair, both to you and the person giving the advice. This is not true of a selfish, proud, and wicked person. Beware of accepting their advice, or you will be tricked into their schemes. Verse number 6. The words of the wicked are like a murderous ambush, but the words of the godly saves lives. Wicked people cannot be trusted. When you least expect it, their words of advice will turn on you, your plans, and will cause you harm. On the other hand, you know when somebody has your interests in mind because it will be life-giving. Verse number 7. The wicked die and disappear, but the family of the godly stand firm. This verse is the very heart of creating and living your legacy each day. If you lack integrity and moral goodness, then you will leave nothing positive for the future generations to carry forward. Contrast that to a person who has integrity and moral goodness. Those traits will be integrated into their family and will stand the test of time throughout eternity and through all the generations to follow. Verse number 8. A sensible person wins admiration, but a warped mind is despised. If you desire to be respected and appreciated, then it is also required that you be kind and sensible when dealing with others. You cannot demand or force people to admire you. It is something that is earned over time by how you treat other people. On the other side of this is the person who tries to demand respect and admiration. That person will be despised. Verse number 9. Better to be an ordinary person with a servant than to be self-important but have no food. This situation was true in Solomon's day and probably is even more so in our Western culture. We see those who spend borrowed money on things that make them look better in the eyes of people who really don't care or matter. In the end, they end up in debt, barely being able to take care of their basic needs. It would be much better to live the modest life of an ordinary person, and yet have the ability to obtain those things which have true value in life. Verse number 10. The godly care for their animals, but the wicked are always cruel. Those who honor God will treat all living creatures with care and respect. Those who do not honor God will not only be cruel to their own animals, but also to their family and friends. Verse number 11. A hard worker has plenty of food, but a person who chases fantasies has no sense. There's no substitute or trade-off for working hard. If we consistently work hard over a long period of time and do not spend our money foolishly or borrow money for that which is not a necessity, then we will always have the ability to pay for those items that are life's necessities. When you really analyze your spending, you will realize that there are very few things we spend money on that are really necessities. If a person chases every get-rich scheme on the market, they are not only senseless, but are always poor in so many ways. Verse number 12. Thieves are jealous of each other's loot, but the godly are well-rooted and bear their own fruit. When you try to obtain wealth through illegal or unethical means, then you will always be jealous of someone else who has slightly more. The good and the godly person remains on solid ground, realizing that the only lasting wealth is obtained by planting and harvesting during the correct seasons of life. Verse number 13. The wicked are trapped by their own words, but the godly escape such trouble. A common trait among those who practice evil is that they talk too much. In doing so, their evil intent will be found out, and they will be trapped by what they said. A wise and godly person only speaks when they have something worthwhile to say. They only speak the truth, so they will not be trapped by their lies. Verse number 14. Wise words bring many benefits, and hard work brings rewards. A wise person will speak few, but wise words. They will benefit both themselves and others through this discipline. The same wise person realizes that there is a direct correlation between working hard and the rewards that can be obtained by doing so. Verse number 15. Fools think that their own way is right, but the wise listens to others. Foolish people are usually talking so much that the only one that they really convince is themselves. A truly wise person will spend most of their time listening and analyzing what is being said, and will only speak when it is appropriate to do so. And verse number 16. A fool is quick-tempered, but a wise person stays calm when insulted. A foolish person is immature and impatient. They will get angry because they do not get their own way. In contrast, a wise person will listen, consider the source, and remain calm. They have enough confidence in who they are that they do not need to express anger when insulted by foolish people. The nuggets on today's trail are plentiful indeed. If we take time to listen to them, have the discipline to learn their lessons, and speak only when appropriate, then we will indeed be on the trail for gaining more wisdom. What do you struggle with in what we learned on today's trek? Take some time to apply these truths to your life. One great way to do this is to remember to be faithful to the Proverbs 31-day challenge. For each day of June, read the chapter in Proverbs that corresponds with the day of the month. In less than 5 minutes per day, you can take your daily wisdom supplements, which, if repeated each day, will truly make you healthy, wealthy, and wise. Our next trek will be Philosophy Friday, where we will continue on the trails of the cycles and seasons of life. I have some great information to share, so you won't want to miss it. So encourage your friends and family to join us, and then come along with us on Friday for another day of Wisdom Trek, Creating a Legacy. That will finish our trek for today. Just as you enjoy your doses of wisdom, we ask you to help us to grow Wisdom Trek by sharing it with your family and friends through email, Facebook, Twitter, or in person when you meet with them, and invite them to come along with us each day. If you'd like to listen to any of the past daily treks, they are available at wisdom-trek.com. And don't forget to subscribe to Wisdom Trek on iTunes, Spreaker, Stitcher, SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, and Google Play, so that each day's trek will be downloaded to you automatically. The journal for today's trek is available at wisdom-trek.com. Thank you so much for allowing me to be your guide, your mentor, but most importantly, you are my friend, as I serve you through the Wisdom Trek podcast and journal. As we take this trek together, let us always live abundantly, love unconditionally, listen intentionally, learn continuously, lend to others generously, lead with integrity, and leave a living legacy each day. This is Guthrie Chamberlain, reminding you to keep moving forward, enjoy your journey, and then create a great day every day. See you on Friday.